Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. From today, to make you feel more comfortable, we will discuss few concepts, and then we will from tomorrow onwards we will start configuring our project manually. Okay, so manual configuration. So why I'm doing this manually is okay, before you automate something, you should understand what is happening in the background. Okay, that is through the manual approach. If you know how the things are working manually, then it is very easy for you to configure it in an automated way. Okay, so that is the fact, and that is the working way of anything, not only DevOps, any technology. Okay. So today we will discuss our project. What are we going to do, and few topics. What is public IP and private IP, and monolithic versus microservice, and security groups, and if possible some proxies. What is forward proxy and reverse proxy? Okay, maybe today's session is short, not 1.5 hours. Okay, just to feel you more comfortable. From tomorrow we will conduct full-time session 1.5 hours with project. Okay, so all the documentation you will get through the GitHub. So okay, maybe some of you may have received a mail like this onboarding email. If any one of you haven't received, we will send it today in before afternoon. Okay, so this mail has session meeting link. So every day this link is, every week this link is going to be changed because we can only schedule for 1 week. Okay, so don't bookmark this URL, bookmark this document, Google document, just bookmark like this. Okay, and whenever you come here, you can just go to your document, and every day open this document like this, and then join from here. Okay, so don't bookmark this URL, bookmark this URL. Okay, and try to join with your full name like this. And Q&A session, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, link is here. Okay, every week these two links will get changed. Okay, for this entire week, these two are the link. For next week, it will be changed. We will update in the documentation so that it will be reflected for you as well. Okay, and for this entire course, we are going to manage a GitHub repository like this. Okay, all the documentation, scripts, repositories, code, everything is going to be here. Okay, so and bookmark this one as well. Okay, so we'll maintain our repositories from here today onwards. Okay, yeah. So coming to our topic. So last time, I hope you remember, we discussed 3-tier architecture. Okay, so all the modern applications in this world now, like Facebook.com, Google, Amazon, Netflix, whatever the application it is, each and every application in the modern world is following the 3-tier architecture. Okay, so we will just create documentation for this. Diagram, how our project looks like. So 3-tier architecture. So there will be web tier and app tier and then database tier. App tier and DB tier. Okay, so web tier is connected to application tier, app tier is connected to database tier. Okay, and user will hit this application. First request will go to web tier, and then the web tier will send a request to app tier will send a request to database. So if there is huge load on the website, then we will have something like load balancer. Okay, so this is how each and every application in this software world will work. Not even Amazon.com, Facebook, everything follows this. Okay, So before discussing our project, let us discuss what is public IP and private IP and monolithic versus microservices. So these two are very important throughout our course. And we will discuss one more topic that is called how internet works. Okay, maybe most of you knows these topics, but still, so we want to make everyone comfortable so that we are discussing this topic. Public IP versus private IP. So every system has one public IP and one private IP. For example, my laptop, if you just see IP config, so this is the private IP address. Okay. And this is my default gateway, means this is my modem. But if you want to see your public IP address, you just go here and then open what is my IP. So then you will get your IP address. Okay, you can see this is your public IP address. And it will show you your ISP information also. Okay. So why every computer has two IP addresses, by private IP and then public IP? Till 1995, we had only public IP address. Okay. From 1995, and we changed to something called network address translation. Okay. So if we just discuss a home network, consider this is our home. And every home has some modem. Okay. And this modem is connected to a lot of laptops and mobiles. Laptop. So nowadays, TVs, refrigerators, everything is connected to the Wi-Fi also. So it means all the devices, many devices are connecting to the network. Okay. From here, you will have a connection. You have a connection to this laptop. And you will have a connection to this mobile as well. So every device here, the private IP will be allocated by modem. Remember this. Private IP will be allocated by modem. Okay. So just like in our homes, everybody of us have some sweet names like Chini, Buji, Kanna, something like that. Okay. Our friends and family members, close relatives, they call our name as our sweet name. But when you go to your office, everybody will call you with your own name. Okay. So just like this, within the network, so these two systems communicate with private IP address. Why private IP address? So it has multiple reasons. Okay. So all of you know IPv4 is going to be exhausted. Okay. So why? Because before 1995, so there will be ISP provider. For example, this is the ISP provider. So at that time, we had very less electronic devices, like maybe if one home has one laptop, one system, that is very great. So at that time, ISP providers was giving the public IP address directly to your laptops or servers. Okay, before 1995, ISP were giving IPv4 address directly to laptop. So then slowly what they understood is if we give direct IPv4 address, public IP address to the laptops or servers or computers, soon we will exhaust the IPv4 address. So at that time, they created a concept called NAT, Network Address Translation. Okay, so till 1995, so your system will get the IP address directly from ISP. For example, if you have 3 computers in your home, you will get 3 public IP address. But soon they understood our public IP addresses are going to be exhausted. Then they created a concept called network address translation. So now they will give the public IP address to your modem. Okay, so this is public IP address. And within this, your modem will allocate private IP address. Here you will get one IP address, you will get one IP address, one IP address. If you hit the private IP address, this is like, for example, laptop 1 has private IP address, this one, 1.2. And laptop 2 has private IP address 1.3. If these 2 laptops wants to communicate, okay, if these 2 laptops wants to communicate, they can communicate through private IP. Okay, so why? Because 2 things: latency. Okay, because they are sitting nearby, they can easily communicate with the private IP address for fast communication. That is less latency. Latency is nothing but speed. And then security. Okay, so if the traffic goes out of your home, then there you have to think about security. If a cable is going out of from your home, anybody can tap the tap the cable. Okay, some of you can, some of the persons outside, they can tap your cable and they can get the data. Okay, so just we will always try to keep the communication within the network. We don't want the communication go out of the network until it is necessary. So another reason is security. These 2 are the major reasons we use private IP address: latency and security. If you use private IP address, communication will be fast. If you use public IP address, what will happen is the request will go from here modem to ISP and then it will come back. Okay, so why is it like that? First, in your laptop 1, if you hit facebook.com, what will happen? Okay, first thing, you know, DNS. Okay, so in DNS, it's like a IP dictionary, domain name system. So humans can understand, humans can remember names. Humans can remember names, not numbers. We know this statement, but computers cannot understand names. They can only understand numbers. Okay, so computers, they always communicate with IP address, not this one. But for our purpose, what we do is, so there is a DNS dictionary, just like your dictionary, domain name system. We will discuss anyhow in detail in upcoming classes. So they will maintain the IP address of your domain names. For example, facebook.com. So let us see what is the IP address. If you just do ping facebook.com, so this is the IP address. Okay, so first thing, when you hit facebook.com in the browser, it will contact your ISP. Okay, ISP is responsible to provide IP address of domain. Okay, first thing, immediately your laptop will connect to ISP and it will fetch the IP address. Sorry, this is the IP address. Okay. So first your modem will check. So you will get the IP address of facebook.com. First your modem will check Facebook server is within our network or not. Okay. So definitely Facebook server is not in our network. Facebook server is not in our home network. Okay. So then modem understand Facebook server is not here. Then what it will do is immediately it will send a request to your ISP. For example, BSNL or Airtel, whatever. Okay. So BSNL has multiple home networks, right? So it is giving connections to multiple homes. So then ISP will check, is there any facebook.com IP address is there inside our network? Okay. So it will check all the homes connected to it. So definitely facebook.com is not in our anybody of the homes. Then BSNL ISP, they don't understand where to send the request. Then they will send to a peering point. Okay. Just understand this in a general way. We are not going to be any network engineers. Okay. So what is this peering point? So it will come here. So like BSNL IP, there will be Airtel ISP. All the networks in this entire country are connected to peering point, or we call this as exchange point. Okay. So your ISP, Airtel, your Jio, Vodafone, everything is connected here. And each telecom provider has their own network providers. They are giving network to homes, they are giving network to offices, they are giving network to entire country, all our ISP providers like Airtel. So we know the ISP providers generally, telecom providers, Airtel, BSNL, Jio, and then Vodafone India. So these four are the telecom providers. So they will provide the internet actually. Okay. Maybe in your homes, you have something like Act FiberNet and then Beam. So what they do is, for example, if you start an ISP company, you can approach Airtel and they will give you some network and you can start your own ISP. Okay. You can provide the network within your villages. So that is what every company will do. Like they have Act or Beam, whatever it is. Okay. But ultimately the providers are these four in our country. So all these ISPs, they're connected here to the public exchange point. Okay. Okay. Now understand carefully. So you entered facebook.com. Your modem will fetch the IP address of facebook.com. Then your modem will check facebook.com IP address is within my network. No. If it is not able to find, then it has to send this request to your immediate ISP provider. Then this ISP provider will check in my network of homes or offices, is there any facebook.com IP address, which will check. So obviously it is not there. Then it can't do anything. It has to send the request to the peering exchange point. Then this exchange point will check within this country, is there any facebook.com IP address is available or not. Then it will check with Airtel ISP, Jio ISP, and then Vodafone ISP. So obviously it's not there in India. It is somewhere in US. So then we will this will understand the server is not here within India. Okay. So if you see, there will be telecom exchange points in India. If you just type like this, we'll get the results. So this is US. Okay. You can just type fiber exchange points. You can see. So we have something Mumbai. We have in Mumbai, actually Chennai and Kolkata also there. fiber exchange points to the world in India. Yeah, so this is the one. So we have one in Chennai, we have one in Pune, and another place is getting started in Kerala. So these are the exchange points. Every ISP or every network provider, they have to create a connection here. Kolkata, sorry, Chennai, Mumbai, and some places in Tamil Nadu, and one or two places in Kerala. So every country will have some exchange points. All your ISPs and telecom providers are going to connect at this location. Okay, so now they don't understand this, then they will send the request to all other peering points in the world. Okay, so then at one point of time, it is found in US. So then the request will go to US exchange point. From there, it will find which ISP is providing internet to Facebook data center. So then the request will go to Facebook data center. Then it will reach Facebook server. Okay. How it will travel across the world? So there will be something like submarine cables. Submarine cable map if you search. Okay, so you can see there will be a big cables in the sea. Okay, under the sea we will have a big cables. Okay, so these are the just like your fiber in your home we have fiber connection. So just like that we will have the fiber cables under the sea. So all the data across the world will travel under the sea like this. So just you should understand this is the map. It is traveling across the sea, submarine cable map we call it as. There will be separate missions to lay the cables here. Very huge missions. It's like this. Okay, so they will lay the cables. So all these wires will be managed by our telecom providers. So finally, you should understand there is a hidden connection between our computer and to any other computer in this world. Okay, that is either wireless. Okay, maybe you are connecting to the modem now through wireless, but ultimately there is a wire between your country and another country in the world. Just like India and US, all the countries are connected to the fiber cables through the peering exchange point. Okay, so this is how the internet is working. So finally, so there is a hidden communication between, there is a hidden wire between your computer and somewhere Facebook server, google.com, amazon.com, whatever it is. Okay, and within the home network, if you want to communicate, you always communicate with private IP address. Once your connection cross your home, then it will go as public IP. Okay, so now somehow it reached the facebook.com and the response will come back the same way, whatever the way it has passed, and it will, BSNL ISP will send a response to your public IP. This modem now will send the response to your particular laptop. So at each and every stage, so we have network address translation. Okay, so you don't need to think about very deep. Just understand this private IP. We use it within the network. Once the data crosses your network, it will go as public IP. Okay, so this will be helpful at the time of troubleshooting our project. Okay. So this is about public IP and private IP and how internet is working. So interestingly, you can also, so how the internet started for the first time is first they connected two computers through wire, and then if they want to communicate to all the computers within their country, so then they understood we cannot So we have to do a lot of exchanges. We have to do lot of cables between the ISPs. Then they started this internet. Okay. So if two laptops or two computers are connected, you can just say the internet between those computers are working. That's it. So in our entire software, in our entire IT world, it is always the exchanging the data between two computers. Now my laptop is one computer and Facebook is another computer. I'm sending the request, Facebook computer is sending me the response. If I give my email address and password, then the request will go to again Facebook server with my email address and password. It will send the response. So that is how the data is communicating between two computers. Okay. So now let us discuss monolithic versus microservices. So already we discussed, again, we are making few advantages here. Amazon.in. So earlier, everything was in a single server. So that was like in olden days, legacy applications. Okay. So here you have a server, app server. And then here within the same computer, you have database server, okay, very old applications. So these two are communicated, and user, they will hit this. Okay. So what is the disadvantages of this approach? What are the disadvantages of this approach? Is application is very big. This is one disadvantage. It has front end. It has back end, everything in a single application. Okay. So what are the disadvantages? A simple change also need to be deployed again. Okay. Maintenance is a big headache. And we will have front-end developers like HTML, JavaScript developers, and you will have Java or .NET developers. So Amazon.in is very big application. Okay, you will have thousands of developers working. Okay, so you have to either select Java or .NET, any one technology. Okay, for example, let's say they selected Java. So we may have 1,000 Java developers and 500 front-end developers. Okay, so these two guys should work together and they have to club their application into single. So that is called Amazon.ear. So this is the legacy. Okay, enterprise archive. So finally, they released Amazon.ear and they deployed. So now we are able to see Amazon.in. So now your customer or your client, they don't want this like this, not like this 4. So they want to do 5. Okay, they want 5 images here. Okay, so that is a change. Again, HTML, JavaScript developers, they have to do a simple change and they have to release again. For example, this is version 0.0.1. Okay, again, with a simple change, they have to release again version 0.0.2. So this will take at least 1 day downtime. Your business will go down. And if there is a defect in front end also, you have to change the entire application because front end and back end are clubbed together. So that is the disadvantages of legacy applications. So later they understood and they have created something called API based. Okay, So now they removed the dependency between front end and back end. So now HTML JavaScript team is different. Okay. And backend team is different. So how these two connected? So now they will deploy. So now they will deploy Amazon UI here. They will deploy Amazon UI here. And they will deploy Amazon backend here. And they will have Amazon database here. Okay, so all these applications will connect. So this will, you will hit this Amazon.ip with public IP address, but these two communicate with private IP address because they are in the same network. And security also. So these two communicate with private IP address. This is Amazon UI, Amazon backend, and Amazon database. So now you have a clear separation of teams. So at least now, if there is a change in HTML or JavaScript, you will only deploy this application. If there is a change or defect in backend, like Java or .NET, you will only deploy this application. If there is a change in database tables, you will only release this application. So this is how the monolithic architecture started working, at least from 2010 or 2011. Okay. So now there is a picture of API, application programming interfaces. So these two are connected with API calls. Okay. So if you want to see how those API calls are made here, just right click here, inspect, and you will get something called network. Okay, here it is. You just hit it, refresh, you can see there will be hundreds of calls from this front end to the back end. Okay, so data will be dynamically coming from backend through API calls. You can just see even the images also are coming from the backend. Okay, so remember this, front end always calls backend through API calls. Okay, so this backend will send the data. Data in JSON format and images, whatever it is, it will send the data to the front end, then front end will show it. Okay, you can just see here. Just will open it in new window. So this is these many calls, like for images and for the data also, you can see. You can see the data is coming through the JSON. So this front end applications will refer this JSON and it will show you in the browser. Okay, so this is how the front end and back end are connected through API calls. So how backend will get the data? Backend will hit the database and it will fetch the data from here. Okay, so there will be multiple interfaces. Okay, so there will be multiple interfaces. For example, this is Amazon backend. Okay, you have your web interface. You have your mobile interface like Android and iOS. Okay, either web or mobile. So both will hit the app tier through API calls. Okay. And this will fetch the data from database. Okay, so this is how it happens in the background. So in the similar way, our project is also going to be an e-commerce application. So that is called as RoboShop. Is e-commerce application. So now this is Amazon backend. It has many components, that is like user component to check login and this one, and product catalog, and then cart application, order management, payment, shipping, ratings. It has many components inside. So all these components are now given as Amazon version 0.0.1.var. Okay, now this is Web Archive. Okay, earlier EAR, Enterprise Archive, it means it has everything, front end, back end. Now this is WAR, Web Application, okay, Web Archive. So you will deploy this as a backend application. So now this is the monolithic. What is the disadvantage of monolithic here? Now we have 1,000 Java developers. So you have to completely develop in Java. So nowadays Python is becoming very popular, okay, and then Go language is becoming very popular. If you want to do it in Python again, you need to migrate the entire application from Java to Python. So migration is very difficult. In monolithic. And there is another problem. If the cart application is not working, or if the payment application is not working, everything will go down because it is a single application of everything. Okay. So if one error in one component can make entire website go down. Okay. So that is the another disadvantage. Okay. So maintenance and monitoring is very difficult. And scaling. Tomorrow, if there is a big billion day, so we need to scale this application. What we have to do, we have to deploy this application into multiple servers. Scaling is very difficult at the time of more traffic. Okay. On big billion day, maybe 1 lakh customers will browse for the website, but only 10,000 orders. Everybody will come to your website and everybody will do some shopping. Okay, out of the number of users, maybe 10 to 20% of the users may place the order. So now the the components which will get the high traffic is like user, or at least the cart and product catalog. So cart and product catalog will get more traffic on big billion day. Okay. But you have to scale all the components because they are together. Okay, scaling is very difficult at the time of more traffic. That is one of the disadvantage. Okay. Entire application here is on single programming language. So these are the disadvantages. Okay, if one error in one component can make the entire website go down, and you have to select only one programming language, and getting 1,000 Java developers is very difficult. Okay, you need to hold the Java developers to your company itself. Okay, and scaling is very difficult. So these are the disadvantage. Okay. And so at that, because of these disadvantages, we went through for the microservices approach. So now this is one application. Okay. For example, this is user hyphen 0.0.1, and this is like catalog hyphen 0.0.2 version. Okay. Now you can use this in a Java language, and you can use this in Node.js, and you can use .NET for this. So how these applications are connected? Again, through API. Okay. So now let us draw the architecture diagram for our project. Okay. So this is our entire project. Okay. And there will be a web tier. So here our web application is there. So this is developed in HTML, CSS, React.js, or whatever JS, and we will deploy this in Nginx web server. Okay. And there will be another app tier. Okay. So here now you will have multiple servers. Okay, so that is user server. This is user server. So your web component is connected to the user server through API. And then you will have catalog server, product catalog. Okay. Again, this is connected. These two are connected. Again, there will be cart. So your front end is able to call all these backend services through API calls. Okay. And you will have shipping server. And you will have payments. And you will have again something like ratings. Okay. So your web tier is able to communicate with all these services through APIs. It will get the data through in the JSON format. And there will be a database tier. Okay, here we will have some different kinds of data. One is like MySQL data. And another one is like NoSQL, like MongoDB. Okay, you'll understand later at the point of time we discuss. And there will be another thing like cache. Just like your browser cache, we will have cache database, and something like MQ database, another one. That is RabbitMQ. Okay. So for example, catalog will call the database MongoDB. and user will call the database of Redis as well as MongoDB. How you will get this dependency is through the documentation. Your developers will give you this documentation. Okay. You don't need to worry. We will have the clear documentation. Okay, so you'll get the dependency also like this. And then cart is again dependent on catalog, and shipping is dependent on MySQL. Okay, right now I'm giving a rough diagram, but we will have the clean diagram and I'll upload it into the GitHub. And payments is dependent on RabbitMQ. Ratings is dependent on MySQL. So there will be a lot of dependencies. We'll get the clear documentation on the dependencies. So now how these components will communicate with each other through private IP address only. Okay. So all microservices communicate with each other through private IP and API calls. Okay. Okay. So this is the one we are going to do. So we are going to communicate the each component through private IP address and through API calls. So these APIs are done by developers. We no need to do anything. So entire application is developed by developers. Okay. And they will give us documentation about dependencies. So I will prepare the documentation and I'll show it tomorrow for all of you. And we start configuring the projects. So from tomorrow onwards, we will take multiple EC2 instances, one EC2 instance for user, another EC2 instance for catalog, another EC2 instance for cart, and another one for shipping, all the different servers, and we'll make them to connect with each other through private IP address. And we will have separate instance for MySQL, separate instance for MongoDB, and this is Redis, and this is RabbitMQ, and separate instance for our web interface also. We'll make these connections working together, and finally, if user will hit the web IP address, then you will get the data. Okay, so this is how our project is going to be. User will hit the web application. There will be an e-commerce website, and this will communicate in background with user, with the catalog, just like your Amazon.com. Whenever you try to log in, it will ask for username and password. Similarly, our application will also get the username and password, and it will send it to the user module. So then user module will check the database whether the username and password is wrong. So whether the username and password is right or wrong. If it is right, it will give us the home page. If it is wrong, it will give us the error page. So this is a big e-commerce application from RoboShop. This is from IBM. Okay, Instana is the original creator of it. IBM is recently acquired. So we will have the application code here itself. Okay, catalog, and then dispatch, MongoDB, MySQL, payment, ratings, shipping, everything is going to be here. So we consider these are the developer already developed the code. So it is our responsibility now to deploy the application. First, we will deploy it manually, and then later we will use it shell scripting. First, you will deploy manually, and later you use shell scripting. and later you use Ansible, and later we use Jenkins, and later we can use Terraform and Kubernetes. So starting with manual, we will understand each and every way of the deployment from basics to advanced. Now, end of the course, you will be able to deploy. First, we will deploy as a monolithic, and then later you will deploy as a microservices. Okay. So this is what we are going to do here. So, and then security groups are very important. This is nothing but firewalls. Okay. So each and every server here are connected with firewall. Okay. So there will be firewall between these two servers. It will only allow the communication from the catalog server, no one else. Okay. So just like our Office ID card scan doors. So this is a firewall here. If you just scan your card, then only it will open. So that is the firewall. So similarly here, we will restrict the traffic between these servers through the firewalls. Okay. So in AWS, you know how to launch the instance, and here there will be an option called security groups. This is the firewall service. So not only this cloud, on-premise or any cloud like GCP or Azure, everything has this firewall feature. For example, to create a security group, you will give some name and some description, testing, firewall, and VPC. By default, we will select VPC. There is inbound and outbound. The difference, what is inbound? Inbound is traffic coming to your server. Okay. Outbound is traffic going out from your server. Inbound is nothing but traffic coming. Outbound is traffic going out. Here source, let us check the source. Source is internet. Internet is nothing but any server in internet, any server outside. Okay. And then destination. Destination is obviously your EC2 instance. Okay, here the source of the traffic is your EC2. And destination is whatever you want to browse. So now this is my laptop. I am hitting facebook.com. Okay. So then what is happening? Traffic is going from your laptop to facebook.com. Okay. So this is your laptop, and facebook.com is somewhere in the internet. So these are very important as part of troubleshooting. Okay. So a request is going from here to here. Okay. So now this is outbound. Okay. So this is outbound because you are from your laptop, you are hitting something. This is traffic is going out from your laptop to the cloud. When the traffic is coming in, then this is so this is inbound. Okay, traffic is coming in is called inbound, traffic going out is called outbound. Now, if you just think, we have created EC2 instance in our Linux sessions. So what we did, we have a security group attached. and we are allowing port number 80 and port number 22. It means only port number 80 and 22 are allowed. Okay, remaining ports nobody can open. And even here you can restrict who can open. This is nothing but everybody on the internet. Okay, so if you want to restrict, you can open and you can give particular IP address. For example, you can give your source IP address. What is your IP? If you select like this, what is my IP? Then you will get the IP address, right? So you can give only this IP address /32. Your IP /32. Then no one can open port number 22. No one can connect to your server other than you. So this is your IP address. Okay, except your home, no one is allowed to connect port number 22 on this server. So nobody will get the administrator access, but they can connect to your website on port number 80. Okay, so this is what is inbound rules. And outbound, obviously, we will allow all the traffic every time because you know what you are browsing. Okay. Here you are sending traffic from your server to the internet, means you know what you are doing. So that is why we will allow everyone like 0.0.0 in outbound, all traffic. You should do this, all traffic. But in inbound, you don't know who hits your server. So that is why we will always restrict. Okay. For our practical purpose, so generally we will give the all TCP or all traffic, and you give 0.0.0. So then anybody in the internet can open your server. This is just for the practice purpose. Okay, but in production, we will restrict the traffic like this. You will only allow particular IP address, particular server to communicate with you. So first we will do all traffic, and then later slowly we will understand, and then we will restrict it to the particular server IP address. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss from tomorrow. So I'll come up with the documentation anyhow in the GitHub. So just like how your developer will give you documentation, I will get the documentation, and through the documentation, we need to deploy these servers one by one as a microservices. And then once you understand it manually, then we will automate it slowly through the scripting. Okay. Once later we will automate through the shell scripting, and then later we will do it through the Ansible. And finally, this is through Jenkins CI/CD. This is the most important thing. So once you understand these things, then it will be very easy. Okay. So from this point, anyhow, we will keep our scripts in GitHub. Okay, just like this. It is going to be more and more repositories. We'll get a lot of repositories, and everything we are going to keep it inside here. So we will teach shell scripting also. You don't need to worry. Okay. So the shell scriptings, everything will look like this. We will start with variables, we'll start with conditions, data types, loops, functions, everything we will discuss, and we will set up a project using shell script like this. So you'll be able to write the script on your own with more confidence. No need to worry about that right now. So everything we are going to discuss. Okay. So for today, just take this as a task or something. What is public IP and private IP. If you are able to get the information from the internet, this is good. Microservices advantages and monolithic versus microservices, and how internet works. No need to go very deep, just understand how the request is originated. Okay, and firewall. So whatever we discussed, that is the concept. If you want like more information and anyhow, the same information you are going to find. But if you want to listen, if you have some time, you can just read this again in the internet after watching our session through the recording. So then from tomorrow, we will start configuring our project. Okay, so now we can address few questions. Yeah, Palacharla Durga Prasad. You have some question. Palacharla Durga Prasad, you can unmute and ask.
Sir, it's actually looking nothing is all good question.
Okay, good, thank you. Santosh Avula. Yeah. Sorry, your voice is not clear.
Right now, is clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I have one doubt. So in a microservice level also, all microservices are playing the same service.
All microservices are?
Yes, deploying to same instance.
No, different instances we will. You can also deploy it in the same instance, but that is what the disadvantage. If the server goes down, if you deploy in a single server, if the servers goes down, everything will go down, right?
So, okay, that is the question. Second question is you have to discuss it with firewall, right? So,
No.
Yeah, firewall means only internal purpose to use. Suppose we are in our office are using the firewall and Akamai you are using for firewall purpose. So what is the difference between these?
Akamai is not the firewall. Akamai is the like CloudFront. Okay, so we will discuss the CloudFront anyhow as part of this syllabus. Firewall is just like your home. You will have the gate. That is the firewall. Who is allowed to enter? You are allowed to enter in your home. Maybe public also can enter up to some extent, right? Maybe they can also enter into your premises, but they cannot enter your bedrooms and they cannot enter your washrooms. So that is how the firewall also for the computers. You will give limited access for the public, and you will give full access to the particular person. So the authorized person, how you will find it? You will find it through the IP address only. So this is my home IP address. Okay, now who will open this port number 22 on this server? Who can get the admin access? Only me. Only I will get the admin access. You cannot get the admin access, but you can open port number 80 through the internet, like Nginx. You can open my website, but you cannot get access to my server. So that's it. We are opening the Facebook website on port number 443 HTTPS, but you cannot log into the Facebook server through 22. So that is how firewall can restrict the access. We are going to discuss anyhow in detail. Thank you so much. Vinesh Kumar.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, I am new to this batch, sir. I am joined today on, sir. That's why I'm confusing a little bit, sir.
Okay, so just watch the previous recordings of the session.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alekia Garapati. Satish Kumar Chillapalli.
Hi, Siva. Good morning.
Yeah, hi Satish.
Actually, you said like a API is going to calling from the front end and back end. Those
Yeah.
APIs we will create from our end. DevOps guy has to create, or developers will
No,
create and will share. to us?
Developers. So API is nothing but purely development. So that is called API development.
Okay.
So that's what our Java, .NET guys, they are programming.
Okay. They will
So it
share
is-
to us API details.
They will share the repository to us. For example, so this is the repository, right? So
Okay.
this is where our catalog developers or something like shipping developers. So this is the Java project. They will push their code here. Then we know where is the location of the code. And from here, we will take it and then configure it.
Okay. So internal backend front end will connect with the APIs now. So we need to configure those APIs also. No?
So
How
those
they
are
connect?
all, those are already configured here. So developer, they knows
Okay.
catalog card should call the catalog. So they have configured internally.
Oh, those connections not taken care by us.
Those connections are not taken by us. We will just configure it. So while configuring, they will give us documentation. This cart application is dependent on catalog. So then we know that it is dependent through the documentation. Then we will configure the project. Automatically, they will connect. So that obviously we'll get connection issues. Then we will troubleshoot and then we will work with the developers.
And these all through scale scripting only will happen, or Python scripting where it will come picture.
So that anyhow we will discuss. Python scripting is not for this. Python scripting is for different purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Navina Uppalapati.
Hi Shiva, like you said, we'll be deploying these microservices, right, on individual EC2s. So are we not going to use the containerization here, or
No,
just on the-
container is a very advanced. Once you understand through the servers, later we go for
Oh.
containerization. So
Okay.
once you, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, Shiva.
Yes, most welcome. Vishnu, you can unmute and then ask.
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
My question is like there are two types, right? The monolithic service and the microservices. So
Yeah,
before that, what is that service name we have firstly introduced?
service, you want to understand what is service?
Yeah, the first service. After that only we have come up with monolithic and microservices, right? So first you
Yeah.
told that when the application is very big and everything is front end, back and everything is in one
But
service.
at that time, there was no, in legacy, there was no service at all. So just we were hitting to the IP address, then we
Hmm.
were able to get the response. There is no point of service at that time. So services came into picture once you differentiated web and then app.
Oh, okay.
So this tier, generally we call this as the app tier or API tier.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So services came into picture from the time of monolithic.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, understood, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
most welcome. Srinivas Rao K. So we enabled Slack also. Maybe some of you received Slack access. Okay. For a few of the members, we will give it soon. So this is where you can start sending your questions. But while posting the questions, you can just give title of the error and what is the description of the error and what you searched to understand the error. Okay, so this is how you can post. Okay, just follow these guidelines. Okay, so you can resolve other queries also. And I will also understand your error. I will also give the response, but just follow these guidelines. You can learn from other queries as well. And from tomorrow onwards, we will start our Q&A session. You got the link already here. You can join tomorrow at 7:30 to 8 p.m. 3 days. Okay. 3 half an hours every week. We will have Q&A session. Maybe it can extend until like 45 minutes as well. Yeah, Ramakrishna, you have some question?
Hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
For the Q&A session, actually, I'm not able to connect because I was in office by the time. So shall we get any recording sessions
Yeah,
for that?
from this week, we will record the Q&A session also, and then we will post the playlist link. So in this, I will update here.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So anyhow, be ready from tomorrow. We are going to do the project manually. We'll get full understanding, and then yeah, Q&A session, Slack, everything is going to be in a proper way. So if some of you don't have any questions, you can drop off. Rakesh Gupta, you have some question?
Hi Shiva, can you
Yeah,
hear
hi
me?
Rakesh. Yes, I can hear you.
The thing is, you said as per the document, we are going to be do the project, right?
Yes,
In the same way, if if I get the job in the same at the time of project, according to the project, according to the documentation, we should create each and everything, and we should complete the project, right?
yeah.
It would
So
be same. Architecture
architectures
would be
will,
same.
yeah. So who will design this thing? So this will be done by architectures like DevOps developers, like all the DevOps architect, testing team architect, DevOps architect, cloud architect. So they all sit together and they will try to create the architecture like this. Okay. So DevOps engineers, developers, they don't have any part of this. Okay. Architects can decide this.
Even by seeing the document only, we should create ECT instances
Yes.
and everything, right?
Yeah, so everything is decided and designed properly. So then junior engineers or senior engineers like us, we will understand that and then we will do it. So always there will be help from team leaders and architects.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you, Shiva.
Okay, most welcome. Murali, you have some question?
Yes, Shiva.
Yes, hi.
The web APIs means like web services and REST APIs. Nowadays, they are calling after the APIs.
Yeah,
So are they reside in application server or web server?
application server.
Okay.
So this web application knows the IP address of user.
Okay.
So then it will hit it. So
Okay.
then this user will send data to this web. So tomorrow I'll configure this RoboShop anyhow, and I'll show it how the output, then we will start configuring it.
Okay. Can you keep this diagram also?
Yeah, I'll post it everything shortly. Okay, so today is the first day anyhow. I didn't plan it well, but within few hours I'll post this diagram and I'll post the documentation also, everything today. I'll inform you guys in the Slack, whatever the updates.
Got it. One more question. So if we open multiple instances, like, you said, like we are going to use different instances for the different microservices.
Yes.
Can we keep them active like before? Okay.
Terminate them or at least stop them.
Every day after practice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, most welcome. Uday Kumar Kotta. Okay, Uma Mahesh Tota.
Hey, hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so my question is, so we are going to deploy the front end code in web server engines.
Yes.
Okay. So how we configure the connection between web and application server?
So that is called as reverse proxy. We are
Okay.
going to do that anyhow.
Yeah, okay. That's
We'll discuss. Yeah, we'll start discussing that. So everything is connections only. Everything, not even DevOps, everything in this entire software world, it is called connections. Just making the connection successful is the responsibility of any technology. So our DevOps responsibility is making these connections successful between multiple components and do the application deployment as soon as possible with less errors. Okay, thank you so much. Murali Mohan Raju. You can unmute. Murali Mohan Raju, you can unmute and ask. Praneeth, you can unmute and ask.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
My question is like, where is this alerting and monitoring coming in the project?
So once you deploy your application successfully, obviously you need to monitor. So that is
Yes.
where alerting and monitoring will come into picture.
Okay, so how will we establish the connection in the project? Like
How
all
we
the alerts will be coming to some database, and then from database we will pick the alerts.
So there will be something called Grafana, and you will get alerts inside Slack also.
Or Slack also we can use for alerting.
Yeah, so you can use anything. You can send an SMS, you can send an email. You have multiple mediums for alerting.
Okay, in our project, what we are using?
We are going to use email. We will monitor the dashboards.
Okay.
Email alerting is the first thing, at least we have to do. That's a professional way, right?
Okay.
First we will do email, and then we will do it Slack also.
And what about ELK?
ELK for log monitoring. So anyhow, these topics are all we are going to cover. You can find the detailed syllabus, and we discussed already what are we going to do. Okay, you don't need to worry about that. We will do it everything.
So at last we'll be implementing in ELK. That's what
yes, yes, ELK is for log monitoring. Yeah, we'll do
okay.
it.
Okay, that's my question. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay. And Srinivas. Jayadeep.
Yeah, hi Shiva. Actually, today I joined. I don't know how to join in the Slack group.
Yeah, just ping us. You can find our number in joindevops.com.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay, if some of you haven't get access for everything, we will do it shortly. Okay. Aslam. Sheikh Ahmed.
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
So here, are we not creating the load balancers?
Yeah, we will create.
Okay.
So as I said earlier, we will create load balancers also.
So for load balancers, there's, I think there should be multiple web tier servers, right?
No, one load balancer here.
Okay.
Can have the load balancers, internal load balancers, but this is the public load balancer actually. So users will hit this, then it will send the traffic to web. From here, it will go to user.
So, okay, to configure load balancer, there no need to be multiple web servers.
No, yeah, you can have multiple web servers. If the traffic is really high, you will get multiple web servers.
Okay. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, we will do this auto scaling, high availability, everything. So these features we are going to discuss as part of containerization. Okay.
So when we will be covering AWS?
So we need to create EC2 instance now. Nowadays, now you know how to create EC2 instance already. So we discussed so what are the parameters, and then later we will get VPC and then load balancers. So at that time, we will be discussing our AWS concepts also. First, let us complete this manual process. Then we will land into the AWS concepts properly. Okay. Yeah. So this is the way we follow for any training actually. First, we will show you the project from the scratch. Then we will slowly do it from the basics to the advanced level. Okay. So thank you so much. That's all for today.
Hello, hi Shiva.
Yes, hi.
So what are the prerequisites that we need to have till this is my first class, and we didn't create any AWS account as of now. So
Okay,
is
so
there
we discussed them as part of the last week sessions. You can follow the recordings.
okay?
Okay, so just Linux basics we discussed. Then you can follow them, and from tomorrow you can start.
Yeah, sure.
There is no too much dependency if you understand, if you know the Linux already.
Okay.
Just refer any YouTube video how to create AWS account also, then that is
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you guys in tomorrow's session. Yeah, so we'll give access and we'll come up with documentation by tomorrow's session. Bye-bye. See you.